We all saw the video. My childhood putter finally broke. So now is the best time to go get fit for a brand new one. But what does a putter fitting actually look like? Is it worth getting a putter fitting if you're an average golfer? And we're also going to run a test. How does l.a.b's online fitting and process compare to the results that you'd get in person at the l.a.b Centre of Excellence? So that's enough talking. Let's go on a little drive up to Birmingham. Let's go get fit for clubs. We came along to the Scottsdale launch event. Yeah, here we are. The place is awesome. So,
where do you play your golf?
right down south. So we coming up from Southampton.
Right.
So not too bad, but
Are you a football guy or?
yeah, big.
What's your team?
Not Southampton.
Not Southampton.
Okay.
No, Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal.
Always been Arsenal.
Hey, that was some result, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
free kick, that second free
Oh
kick from
mate,
Rice was special.
ridiculous. This is all very new to me in terms of like, I've only ever been fit for, I got fitted for a driver before. That was the first time I got fitted a month or two ago. Putting, no idea.
I guess in the thing with where putters, obviously, so you booked in on the l.a.b putter fitting, aren't you?
Yes, yeah.
So obviously you're looking at the l.a.bs
Yes.
particularly.
Yeah.
So in terms of when we're doing a l.a.b putter fit, the general idea is most of the time people bring one putter with them.
Yes.
Now, having said that, there's probably about 4 or 5 that are in a very strict rotation on my own game at the minute. So
Right.
I know you're feeling.
See, I would put another spanner in the works. My actual putter that I switched back to broke
Oh, why?
last round, last week.
So what was that?
So that was a TaylorMade TPI 26,
Okay.
really old putter.
Aye.
The head fell off.
Okay.
That's the one I got on with the most. Then it's this one. And then it's the mallet.
Okay.
But if I were to play one of the two now, it would be that one.
It'd be this one.
Yeah.
Aye. So is there any reason as to why you don't like that one or what?
I don't know what it is. I just I can't feel the weight of it.
Okay.
Like I can never judge. I can stand in the same place, hit 3 putts the exact same, and one will be long, one will be short, one will be perfect. There's just like a big variance, if that makes sense. Yeah. Whereas that one, I feel like I know where, like, distance-wise, it's better. It's still not perfect, but it's better than the other one.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll get some data with this.
Okay.
Okay, that'll be the first thing we'll start, and then we'll kind of go through, see where you're kind of looking, see what we're looking, whatnot. Okay. The thing with putters is obviously, if you put one putter in the machine to the next putter in the machine and we do the same thing, we can see a gain. Yeah. Sometimes quite a good gain. But the thing with putter fitting and any sort of fit, to me, you've always got that 75-25 rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You've got 75% is yes, obviously we're here to focus on what the putter's going to do. Yep. What can we do? What's going to help you in the stroke with the putter? But 25% of me is also going to be keeping an eye on technique.
Of course.
What we're doing. Can we sort of, let's not get 75% of the way there. Let's get 100% of the way there. Let's make sure we're trying to dial that in as well.
Yeah. Sounds
so
great.
We'll have a little look over a few things.
Okay.
Right. Hit a few putts to start with.
Yep.
Don't worry about anything in terms of where they go, whatnot. I'm not taking any data at this point. Okay. Just get a feel for the speed of the greens. Okay.
Perfect.
We'll go from there and then we'll start. Any story behind the funky head cover, by the way?
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace,
yeah. But it's actually quite rare now. I went to look to move that one on, and it came with the head cover, and can't find that one really anywhere.
How long have you been playing?
I got back into golf. I played as a kid, on and off, just like casually. I'd go down with my dad with some car boot sale type clubs. And then every now and then I'd just go to the course or the driving range. Then I got into it probably 2 years ago.
Nice.
Started playing more, and now I enjoy it too much.
Nice. You got a wee feel for the speed?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Want me to hit one more?
Can do if you want, it's up to you.
I'll hit one more.
It's not reading anything at this point. I'm just letting you get
Yeah, that's much better.
somewhat climatized to it.
Yeah, I'm much happier with that, that's for sure.
Right, so have you ever used Sandpot Lab before?
When I was, no, I've never used this before, no.
Okay, so with Sandpot Lab, it stands for Science of Motion Sports. It's kind of a launch monitor for putting. It's the easiest way to look at it.
Yep.
Okay, so obviously in the base we use TrackMan, and here we use Sandpot Lab. You've got two, you've got Quintic and you've got Sam.
Okay.
Quintic is literally called Quintic Ball Roll, measures the ball.
Yep.
All right, Sam very much measures the putter.
Okay.
Okay, so they kind of do different things over there.
Okay.
Okay, in here we use Sam. We can sort of dive into the data and we can pick out the same information. It might be worded differently, but you can pick out the information to get to the other side anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so that's kind of where we'll start with you. So what are you playing off at the minute?
12.3 I've just gone down to. Playing a little bit better recently, aren't we, Connor? A little bit better.
Do you play yourself?
A little bit every now and again.
Does the same thing as me, basically. He's just a better version.
Better fucking looking.
Why are you holding the camera then?
We take
You
turns.
had it last
Yeah.
So is it like a joint YouTube channel you got going on?
We've got our own channels, but we work together to make it all. So if he'll go film around, I'll film for you, and then if you film around, it'll be for me.
What is it? Golf content? Or?
Yeah, all golf content.
You're speaking to the person that knows nothing about YouTube golf.
Yeah, that's fine. Nor do I really. I'm just winging it.
Alright, I'll get this in there. Calibrator off. I'm gonna hold it still when she's in the blue. That'll calibrate off to square. There you go. So, the objective, pretty simple.
Yep.
Hit the ball off that dot.
Yep.
We're aiming towards that hole.
Yep.
Notice how I said towards. Okay.
Towards the hole.
The putt, annoyingly, because it's an indoor green, it can have a wee bit of break.
Okay.
Don't try and allow for that. As hard as it is, if you hit a dead straight putt towards the middle of the hole at the correct speed, if it goes in or not, that's not going to be affected.
Okay.
All this is going to read is obviously that's going to talk to that. That's going to read from your putter.
Yep.
That thing's going to have no clue on where that ball finishes up.
Okay, got you.
Most important thing, go for your routine. Okay. Yeah. We've got 5 putts. If you normally line the ball up, line the ball up.
Yep.
If you normally don't. But whatever your routine is.
I need to find out what your routine is.
And it's not a rush.
Okay.
And if you don't have a routine, we'll get you one.
Does it look like I know what I'm doing?
Looks like you've done that every time you've done a putt.
Nice. Why are you here for a putter fit in again?
I'll be honest, mate. It's by far the worst thing in my game.
I'm surprised I've never seen you do that.
I've always done that. Just hold it from the other
Is
side.
the truth coming out now?
Shush.
Did you watch any of the golf last night?
Too much, yeah. Considering we had to be up really early this morning, we did watch to the very, very end.
Yeah, it was probably the most entertaining round of golf I've ever watched.
Amazing. It was so good. Who did you want winning?
I was a double-edged sword because I had a bet on Rose.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had 20 quid each way on him. So that would have just about got me over the, about 1-2 I'd have picked up if he won. But that being said, hey, you know where I'm from. You know who I wanted to win. So
That's fair enough.
it was a win-win situation. I had him each way, so I still got some on
Yeah,
him.
I was happy with either.
All right, let's have a look. Let's see what she's saying. So we'll tag this as your own putter.
Yep.
Sort of see what's going on, where it's going. and then the little bits from there. We're going to get a number of different data parameters, okay? You're going to get, obviously, you're generally speaking at the bottom, we're going to get your face aim, you're going to get impact, you're going to get path, strike, dynamic lie, everything we kind of need to sort of go, right, where are we looking at with it? Okay? We start here at address, 1 degree open, okay? That's fine.
Okay.
There is some data out there of Tiger's putting stroke, okay? You can have a look at it. His scores are actually really, really bad. But his consistency is really, really high.
Okay.
Okay. So Tiger's kind of old school. He starts with the face a wee bit open. It's 2 and a bit degrees open. He then rotates it. I think on the SAM data I saw it was like 0.9 closed impact. Wow. With a wee bit of a toe strike. Okay. So he's almost a degree closed from starting, you know, a good couple of degrees open. With a little bit of a toe strike, which deflects it back online. Right. Okay. Right. Path's perfect, but consistency is like everything's perfect. So even though the scores are low, the consistency being high, he's able to obviously repeat that, do the same thing. And if you listen to him talk, or Charlie, his son, when they played the PNC, the scramble, if you listen to Charlie talk, he was like, I don't like my dad reading putts for me. Because he just basically plays for a little bit of a hook bias on his putts. So it's just people will subconsciously do that. Okay. If you're doing the same thing every time, that's the most important than everything being technically perfect. Okay. So where we start, you aim at 1 degree open. Not too bad at the consistency. First one, 0.8 of a degree. Second one, 0.1, so very good. 0.2, very good. And then the last two there, we got a wee bit more open. Okay. Okay, so 1.8 and 1.8 again, respectively. But then at impact, we see some pretty good things. Okay, all bar the third one there that we got a wee bit closed. All the others are pretty good. They're all under a degree. Excluding the first and third one, they're all under half a degree. Okay. So pretty good. So we're doing some pretty good stuff there. The interesting thing would be to me is path. We can see your direction certainly wants to go a wee bit right. Yes. Okay. So obviously the last 2 putts we missed a little bit to the right hand side. It's not necessarily down to where the face is at impact, a little bit down to obviously the path. Okay. Okay. So we can see that from there. Hair of a toe strike, and we're a hair toe down. We'll get into that number a little bit as we go on. Okay. Big sort of conversation in the labs is, it literally stands for lie angle balance. Most important thing is get the lie angle right. Okay. Get the lie angle right, get your length right, go from there. But path direction, obviously, we're a bit right, as we said before. A little bit of toe, but not too bad, and it's pretty consistent. Okay. So there's no issues with that. Okay. Amazing. In terms of the putting stroke in general, mate, you do a lot of things good.
That's very surprising, but thank you.
Where you tell me you struggle is on speed a little bit, I'm assuming?
I'd say so, yeah. I find it hard to judge, yeah.
So, again, timing of the stroke is going to be something, trying to get that. You can see if you really want to get into your dynamics and your acceleration, we can see the speed consistency is down, okay? So that's something. Now, it's going to be very much how do you help that with a putter change is going to be kind of one of them of there's different things you can try, potentially counterbalance options, give you weight in different areas. But really speaking, the dynamics of your stroke are pretty good. Okay. So, have you done your research on anything lab-wise?
So, I wanted to come into this with the most open mind in
There's
terms
a book
of
coming here.
as in whatever I get fitted to, I'll be happy with. Like whatever you think is going to be best, I'm happy with. Like if you turn around and said sweeper, and that works out best.
Don't worry, we're not going to go there. Your stroke's good.
Whatever it is, I'm happy with. If you give me one of the bladed ones or any other ones, completely open to it.
So obviously you've got your 4 models. Okay. So you've got your Link, your Oz, which is your newest one. Your Mezz, or 5 models because you've got your Mezz and your Mezz Max. And then you've got your DF3. Okay, so they're your 5 models. I know I said 4, but you've got Mezz and Mezz Max. Okay. With them, you've got differences, obviously, mainly from a visual. Differences then is, wow, it's going to be your biggest difference can kind of be, you know, either how they can launch. If you think, technically 6 models, because I always forget about the old octopus at the start, the DF 2.1. they're going to have different launch. All right. They're going to also give you a different aim bias from a different visual.
Okay.
Okay. You've kind of got a million different options when you start thinking then counterbalance. You start thinking on the Oz, you've obviously got the lean or the no lean.
Okay.
So you've got a number of different options on it. All right. So let's have a little look. Let's start you. Have you got one you prefer the look of? Let's start with that.
If I were to pick the look of it, I don't mind the DF3s or these are the OZs, right?
Yeah, the new Odyssey.
Yeah. I quite like the look of those.
Okay.
But one of those two, I think I like the look of most.
Right, let's start you in the Oz. Let's start you pretty simply in the Oz putter.
Okay.
Okay. Lengthwise on this one's at 34.
Yep.
Okay, 34, which is the same as your oil one is.
Yep.
34. Lie angle on this one is 70.
Okay.
Okay. So give you that. Hit a few, get a feel. It's going to feel very different off the face to yours. So hit a few random putts, get a speed. Again, no data being collected at this time.
God, they really do feel so much straighter, don't they?
Different feel off the face?
Yeah, yeah.
Aye. So, don't really want to too much try and give you what it feels like.
Yeah.
I'd rather you tell me, but would I be correct in
course.
saying it feels firmer than your putter?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, that's the Oz Eye. So
Yeah.
you've got the insert
The
in there.
insert,
So
yeah.
very much tour inspired, very much trying to go. The technology's there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that have tested the l.a.b, a lot more than you will see in play.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of guys have tested them. Everyone's curious.
Yeah, yeah.
Golf pros are the same as anyone, you know, even worse. If they see a trend that's working,
Yeah, they want to try it out.
they want to try it. And the good thing with l.a.b is it's kind of proved itself to not be a trend.
Yeah,
it's
of
just
course.
a technology.
Yeah.
And now every other brand's trying to
to replicate it, yeah.
But that being said, there is going to be players that go, I'm not changing because I don't like the look and I don't like the feel.
Yeah.
So they're going to try and bring out different models that might kind of sway more
Of
players.
course, of course.
I mean, the Oz to me is, other than the Link, I think the Oz is probably the best looking one they've made so far.
I love like the ins and outs of like this type of technology. It's so cool.
It just means, it just calibrates it off, so it's just easier. So
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
in there, sort of put it in there, hold it square. This is going to show how bad my idea of square is nowadays. That's pretty good to be fair.
There we go.
All right, there you go. Don't ask me to get that there at impact.
Thank you.
So I've tagged it as 3 putts this time. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
We've obviously got an idea of where your stroke is, what you do.
Yep.
I want you to go through your routine. I want you to focus and concentrate.
Yep. Yep.
What I don't want to do is have you bored rolling the same 20-foot putt. 100 times. People will just lose focus. So now we've got an idea of what you're doing.
Yep.
You can shrink that now. We're a bit speedy.
Yeah, a bit too hard.
Yeah. So what's your home course then?
Leon Solent. It's
I think the one I played a clutch event there. Stoneham. Aye.
Stoneham is
that
lovely.
where Richard Bland plays?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, Stoneham is. We played there for your birthday, didn't we, Connor? That is another level of
Yeah,
like what
it
we're
was-
used to playing.
It was a good track. It was a really good track. There's a few good tracks down south, to be honest.
Yeah, it's you can find them not horrendous price either.
Give us one last one for me.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Let's have a little look over these. How did it feel off the bat?
It feels solid, like the whole way through. You know
Okay.
what the club face is doing a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So before we even open the data, I'm going to tell you it's not going to be as good.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was obviously keeping a little bit of an eye. we could see address, you were consistent, but you were consistently aiming right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is okay if we get it back to square.
Yeah.
Okay. But obviously what we're trying to do with this putter, we're trying to do with the l.a.b, is we're not trying to release it. Okay. We're trying to take that out. We're trying to take the timing of that face rotation out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And keep the face square to the plane that we're arcing the putter on.
Okay.
Which you do kind of do. You do get it down to a pretty good spot. But then obviously the consistency of the face change can sometimes drop a little bit.
Right.
Path's still a little right. That's just the thing with you. So that's okay. Strike got a little bit varied a wee bit. We can see now we've gone a little bit toe up, so we might need to go a hair flatter. Okay. So that was at 70. We could drop you down a wee bit.
Okay.
But there's a little bit of rotation going on, okay? For me, I'd quite like to see us limit a little bit of that rotation. Okay.
Yep.
A couple of things with l.a.b is what they turn around and say, right? Generally, or what I'll sort of say, not maybe what l.a.b will say, what I'll sort of say is try and hold it a wee bit lighter.
Okay.
Feel like you're not manipulating it.
Right, okay.
I'm assuming you've seen the revealer, whether
Yes,
that, whether
yeah,
putters, what,
like that, yeah.
Matey boys holding there.
Yep.
You know, where basically the putter face isn't going to move. The putter face is going to stay square.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we can get you aiming in a good spot, all right, and then you can just hold it a little bit lighter and sort of just let it go. Now he's away with that camera, I'll demonstrate one. All right, if he was anywhere near with that thing. Don't get this bit. All right, we want to just basically hold it as light as we can. And we're just trying not to manipulate it. So if you aim in a good spot, in theory, it should be pretty self-explanatory. I told you not to get that bit. But it should be pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
Obviously, there's going to be manipulation at times.
Yep.
It's learning to take the torque, untorque yourself. That's literally their model.
Okay.
It's literally, how can we not? All right. And sometimes with a data set, you might not see the benefit straight away.
Yeah.
Because if you're going from a putter like this with toe hang, this putter is going to dramatically open as we take it back
so
in a revealer. We have to find a way of squaring that up. If we have something that's literally got no hang whatsoever, I can hold it wherever I want and it'll stay there.
Yeah.
All right, we can basically try and get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay. But obviously, you've played golf for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, you've got yourself down to a decent standard.
Yep.
You've learned to kind of time up a putter with torque.
Yeah, yeah.
It's now learning to not have to
undo
do that.
Let it do the work, basically. Okay. So it would be a case of just holding it a little bit lighter and letting it do its thing.
Very much so. So I'm going to see literally a couple of putts. I'm going to just line the ball up for you.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to make sure that you're aiming square on these two putts.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to make sure that aim's good. So don't hit it unless I say you're square, basically. Okay. I'll tell you when you safe to go. So you set up. Tell me when you feel like you're square.
I would say there.
Good. Okay. Hit the putt. Okay.
I'm trying to let the club do the work. I'll say it's there.
Okay. All right, one more. So once we get you aiming square, we're in a pretty good spot. All right, we might need to talk about path, but I think we can kind of change path with a few different little tricks.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. So that's
Thank you. Let's say about there.
Okay, good. Okay, so you release that one a wee bit. All right.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm just going to tag it as line because obviously I lined it up for you. But if we look at aim, we're pretty good. Okay.
You can come along, be my caddy if you like.
Not without this plugged in all day. But basically, what I'm doing there, all right, all I did was line the ball up to the middle of the hole. I never actually said to you aim more right, aim more left. Never said it. You just went, yeah, feel good, and I went right at the par.
Okay.
All right. So you can aim it.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the last time when you were 2 degrees right all the time,
Probably because I put it there.
bit lazy with the ball.
Yeah.
All right. If we're going to use a straight line, let's make sure it's straight.
Okay.
The last putt we released, so you've still got that little bit of release going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where, you know, your kind of tendency just wants to get in. So we might just see what we can do about that.
Okay.
Okay. So let's move you out of that putter a little bit.
This is making so much more sense to when you lined up the ball for me.
Yeah.
It makes so much more sense, doesn't it? Line me up, mate, because I need you to line me up. That's the thing I've learned recently. Come on! You line me up, I'll put it in.
This is going to pain me to do, but I'm going to have to pull this one. You haven't got this on camera, have you? I'll get battered on Thursday. Grab this one.
Yep.
3470, as you can see, so I'm keeping a couple of things the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Just get you hit a couple of putts. Okay.
Okay.
DF3.
Yep.
See how that goes to you. See
Lovely.
how that sort of
Thank you.
fits. How does it feel as a difference? Do you like the feel? Do you prefer the feel of the Oz?
I feel like I'm bringing the club back differently.
Okay, in what way?
Not so, I suppose, inside,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
You
So-
feel like it's going more inside or less? Sorry.
Less. So I feel like the other putters, I was going more like this.
Aye.
This one felt like it was more straight back.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Feel wise, do you have a preference?
Not really. That felt quite nice as well.
Right.
So
Let's get a little bit of data. Let's just see 3 putts with it again.
Yep.
Do you have any colour preference on the lab?
I like the red.
Red?
I like the red. My brand colours are
Arsenal, I'm guessing.
red, white, and black. So it matches.
Oh, it's got the Arsenal to it as well, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
there's probably an element to it as well. It's almost the same identical red as what I use in my stuff. See, if you got one, Connor, what would you?
Pink.
I know you'd get pink.
I could not get be pink all the way up.
Why is it so far that your girlfriend's got the smartest idea with blue? Not that I'm biased. Did you win like the lab comp on open night or something?
Yeah.
What was it then? So I missed it all.
So it was it was from about here, and it was as many putts in a row as you could score. And that actually, I got Alia to literally line every single ball for me, and I literally just did that.
Alright, I'll line them up again.
Thank you.
I'm not coming down to Southampton though to do it.
I'll pay you.
Could be swayed. Could be swayed.
So that's square.
Okay, it's a little open, but pretty good.
Okay.
I will give you a little bit of slack here. This comes off a lot slower than the Oz putter off the
Yeah.
face. The ball speed does come off
Okay.
slower.
Okay. Yeah, the Oz one was flying, wasn't it?
Yeah, it comes off really
It was
hot.
Flying. So square is about there.
Okay, a little open.
Okay. Shall I close it again?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So about to there.
Okay.
So I'll say about there.
Okay, a little open again, but not too bad.
That one I hit a lot harder.
Yeah. Okay, what's interesting there? You aimed right.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty much every time you aimed right. Like consistency was really good, but you were always aiming up that right side. But what was somewhat good to see is you did get rid of a little bit of the rotation. So you've now only closed it a degree.
All right.
Okay, so there's some pretty good stuff to come from that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got rid of a little bit of that, so that's good to see. So like a bit of it.
Okay.
Genuinely, there could be a reason why you aimed it right. You'll notice there's no line. Only horizontal lines.
Yeah.
Lines, as a general rule, tend to make people aim left.
Right, okay.
Right-handers, should say, to clarify.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, lines can help you aim left.
Yeah.
Low lines can help you aim more right.
Okay.
That's a generalised, obviously people book the trend. So people that maybe use a line on the ball and a line on putters and sort of tie them in is generally trying to sort of a right bias aim.
Right, okay.
Alright?
Okay, that makes sense.
Alright, so to me this is going to be a hair flat, but
Okay.
at this point not the biggest concern.
Yeah.
It's in the red as well, that's just a bit of luck.
Thank you.
That went on purpose.
It is almost the color. Well, it's the colors I would actually go for as well, in the same way.
Yeah. So let's see how we hit
Well,
with
practice
that.
putts.
Yeah, I hit a few.
See what you mean, but just kind of like relaxing the hands a lot more.
Yeah, quite on that rotation with
I'm
it.
not trying to fight it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, basically as soon as I line a ball up, I can line it up square.
Yeah.
And obviously check it with the shaft so I know it's square. I stand over it and it looks like it's pointing over here. It's just so far left. Being able to trust that it's not when you're under the gun and under pressure is very difficult.
Yeah.
So just no line, no nothing, just feel it. Yeah, I'll always put the ball down the same way. I'll put it down like that. So I'll hit the Titleist on the golf ball and the Pro V one arrow will point out to the right hand side. So as I stand over it, so I can't see anything on the ball. And then, I don't even know what I do, mate. I genuinely don't know. I just sort of read the putt and try and start it on the line with the speed. Putting's always just been a strength for me. It's kind of allowed me to keep a bit of a career in playing. It certainly weren't for hitting it 250 and sideways off most tees. So just not very good off the tee.
I must have the opposite issue to you then. I must think I'm lining up straight and it's actually going over there.
Not necessarily.
Not far off.
Are you right or left eye dominant?
No, both the same. Well, both my contacts are the exact same.
Yeah, but dominant eye.
I actually don't know.
Okay. Pick a small spot. Pick that little V on Scheffler's bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Point the finger at it. Close your left eye. Does the finger move?
Yeah, massively.
Okay. Close your right eye. Does the finger move?
No.
No. There you go. Left eye dominant.
Whoa. Yeah, massively.
The left eye dominant.
Yeah, I think I've been using my right eye.
Whoa!
I think I've been using my wrong eye.
I broke the camera, man.
So, if I open my left eye and close my right eye, it moves massively.
Yeah.
If I close my left eye and open my... What the hell am I looking for, to be honest? What am I looking for?
So basically, if you point directly at, so that V, yeah. So if I do it, I know I'm left eye dominant. It doesn't move. If I shut my left eye and have my right eye, it moves massively left. My finger looks like it's over on the O on TaylorMade on the other bag. Everyone just from the far just thinks we're doing an aim point class on the putting green.
See how the roles have reversed very quickly, haven't they?
I don't know which one I am.
Which one does it move on?
Both.
So if you point it and shut your right eye, does it move?
If I point at it with both eyes open...
Yeah. And then close your right eye.
Yeah, it's not behind my finger. But if I close my left eye, it's behind my finger.
Yeah. So if you
Right
close, so your right eye dominant.
There we go.
There you go.
Got there in
so
the
your
end.
left eye, your right eye.
There you go. Okay.
I'll write them on my notes.
I think I've been using the wrong eye the whole time.
In terms of lining up the putter
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even think I use one arm. Fuck this.
Generally, the reason why I asked that is, so a left eye dominant golfer
Yeah.
would be Tiger, Jason Day, John Rahm.
Yeah.
They're all known for one very simple thing with their putter is they don't have a line on it. Generally lines, if you're a left eye dominant, tend to look a little bit ski with. Particularly if the line's at the back. The line being at the front can sometimes still help.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure about guys like Spieth or whatnot, so I'm not going to
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
anyone I don't know. But most left eye dominant players don't particularly like heavy lines at the back of their putter.
Okay.
Okay? Maybe why you struggle more with something like that that's got a lot of lines to
Yeah,
it.
that makes sense.
So simplifying that down.
We're going to be driving home. You're just going to be...
I'll line it up.
Thank you. Still don't trust myself. I'd say there. I went all over the place with the putter then, but it's come back all right, I think.
Yeah, it was a good bit of slope in that green.
That's what I did. That's what I did on the last one.
Do you want me to delete that one? Do you want another go at that one?
Whatever you think is best. You'll know better than me.
Aiming a little right there.
A little right, okay. How about now?
Pretty good. Do you remember when we said about the lighter grip pressure?
Yes.
Okay. Just literally, you know when you first picked up the DF3 and you said you can feel you going a little bit straighter?
Yep.
Try and just feel like you keep that path going that way. Try not to feel like you have to go inside the line and you take it back.
Okay. I'd say about that.
Yeah, good. 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 Very nice roll.
Thank you. I'd say there.
Yeah, good. Very good.
The last two felt very, very
Yeah,
nice.
very nice. So, within a degree. First one you opened it just a hair, but pretty much all within a degree. Pretty good. Okay?
Yeah.
And then at impact, really good. Okay? So you are starting to learn to take that torque out of it now and reduce that
just
rotation.
really relax.
You definitely seem to get on a wee bit better with this one, the DF3.
Yeah.
Looks wise, obviously with DF3, do you like the look of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that look in comparison to the Mezz?
Well, like looking down on it.
If you're not a fan, you can say it's not.
I am very much. I don't mind the look of clubs as long as I feel confident with it. So I'm very much open to trying it. Really.
Sounds sad.
It looks funky. They all look funky.
Yeah. Certainly a bit out there. Lie angle's pretty good. Okay. A little bit toe strike, so we might just try and clean that up a hair.
Okay.
But pretty good. To be honest, like we'd be in a pretty good spot in terms of this style of putter.
Yeah.
Let's take a few putts and let's see. I'm going to try and tweak a couple of things up with you. Okay. So I'm going to keep you in that putter.
Of course.
I'm not going to change anything with the putter.
Yep.
So, as a little feel for me, I'm going to do a couple of things. Okay? I want you to get the feel. Okay. Something a little bit different. I'm not going to hit the putt.
Yep.
If I grab that off you and stand in there like I'm going to hit it.
Okay.
If you look down the line of this putt, I want you to get the feel when you hit it that you're going to try and make more contact in theory with that outer line on the ball. Okay, so you notice 3 lines on there?
Oh, right, okay, yes.
So you're going to try and hit it what looks like there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so set up, we're going to feel like we're taking it straighter. We're going to feel like we're just basically not using the hands at all.
Yeah.
Quieten them down. But we're going to have that feel. Sometimes you get into putters that are the shaft's in the centre of the head. It's not a centre shafted putter by any stretch, but shaft in the centre of the head. The general pattern is people might go a little bit more toe side because they're used to looking to a shaft in the heel, so they think they have to start hitting it here. Okay?
Yep.
Just try and move that focus point that we're going to hit it. Almost go as far as the extreme as saying you want to hit it off that edge. Okay? Just on a couple of putts. Let's just see how that goes. But very much trying to feel like we keep everything else constant.
Okay. I'll give that a go. Thank you.
We're still lining up square. We're still going to keep the grip pressure nice and light. Keep the path the way you had it.
Yep.
but feel like we're going to strike it more heel side.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
I think that was still a little bit toey.
Okay. Good. Brutal. I thought that was in when I looked away. Okay. How'd it feel with the strike?
Yeah, it felt solid. I think the first one I did was a little bit more toey. If I were to guess, I think the first one was a little bit more toey. The second one was a little bit more inside the line, a little bit more heely, and the third one I'd say is in between the two. If I were to guess.
Spot on.
Come on.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can feel the strike.
Yes.
Okay. So that's key. If you can feel it. Okay. As a data set, I wasn't really looking for anything else other than that. Okay. So I'm happy with a lot of it.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, I'm trying to look for something with the 3 lines on it. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and let's try the Mezz
Okay.
at the same time. There you go. Might be a little bit flat, but just
okay.
hit a couple of putts, get a feel.
This feels a lot lighter, this one.
Feels lighter.
Mm. Thank you.
So feel with this one.
Yep.
Got the 3 lines. Focus on that heel line
Yes.
for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you guessed that's what I was probably getting at.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what the data difference is between the two. If you have a look or feel preference between DF3 and Mezz, if there's no data difference.
Yeah.
And then kind of taking it from that.
I feel like
Aiming quite a long way left.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still feeling the same way, like being quite straight back in that feel?
Yeah.
Not that that's a real by any stretch, but not taking it as much on the inside and just lightening up that grip pressure
This
a
and
bit.
the DF3 felt. Feels lighter, like it. I can feel it moving sideways a little bit more, but it's not drastic.
Obviously, on a custom order, we can get them heavier.
Mm.
I think you said your girlfriend's got the heavier one, hasn't she?
Yes, yeah.
Good. I almost don't mind seeing that particular part. I'll be interested what the data's saying. I think that's just you releasing it a little bit again.
Okay. Just really try and let go.
Hammered it.
That one, I'd definitely let the weight go.
Pan that camera around. Lost the ball. We've only got 3 minutes to look for it now.
Sorry.
Yeah, you love closing this one in a wee bit.
Yeah. 2.5. What was that?
Strike's
2.5
way better
degrees.
though.
Yeah.
Strike's way better.
That
I
felt,
like DF3 with you.
Yeah.
I just want to see you in that alignment line.
Yeah, I like that alignment line because it feels very. I just use that one as the middle line.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I didn't really want to go into Mezz. I was happy in that DF3.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see 3 lines closer together, what that did to strike.
Yeah. Right, let me go very quickly and go very technical. Something called sharp. Thank you.
Now you see why I failed art school. Right? Just hit a few. Just going to go at the heel side, okay?
Yeah, okay.
If my art teacher's watching, now you know what happened. Okay. That was with a
Look
ruler
where we
as well.
are now, huh?
Yeah. And you said I couldn't draw a stick man, Miss Griffith. A name dropper and everything. When it came around to doing your options, my art teacher was the one that told me I wasn't doing art. Not me. I weren't going to do it
This says
anyway.
otherwise.
Huh?
This says otherwise. Watch these next 3 putts go, and that's all you, mate.
And the only way I can draw anything is if I hit it out the toe on a golf course. There you go.
Thank you very much.
So we'll see final 3 putts.
Yeah.
Same thing. Do you want me to line it up?
If you could, that'd be amazing. Keep it consistent. I'm so sorry, your back must be in bits.
So really feel on these couple of putts for me that we're going to keep that face from rotating in at all costs, okay?
Okay.
So very much feeling light on that grip pressure, no manipulation.
Yep.
If you almost imagine it like it's in that revealer,
Yes.
you aren't touching the putter at all, so you can't manipulate it.
Yeah.
So we're trying to feel very much absolutely dead on the manipulation. Just
Okay.
let it do what it wants to do. Easier said than done, I know. Great putt.
It's like years and years and years of muscle memory trying to be broken, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's what they say. It's literally, they don't use any numbers at their center in Oregon because it's literally learning to,
Just let.
sounds so
It's so strange.
horrible saying it, but it's literally learning to untalk yourself. It's
Yeah.
literally, they are right in how they word it. Nice. Yes, one more for the road then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. Hit it so hard, but it's just because I'm getting to that point and almost just like letting the club go. It's coming to you. It's coming to you,
There's
Connor.
another ball coming through there. Strike's way better.
Yes, yes, so much better.
And ironically, if you try and just keep that, so when we talk about keeping that a little bit more, not feeling like it gets inside, the path completely changes. So your path,
That started out like 3.5 degrees
yeah,
right?
so your path gets more neutral, the strike comes
Yeah.
in. Lie angle's perfect, which on that is 69.
Yeah.
Lengthwise, that one's at 34.5. I don't know how that felt to you.
Felt
I was
fine,
sticking
I
you in
think.
at 34.
Yeah.
Either 34 or 34.5. Did you have a comfort preference when you set up to that?
I think an extra half an inch longer might be nice,
Okay.
but yeah, otherwise I'm quite happy with it. Yeah.
Okay. So half an inch longer than what that is, or 34.5 like where that is?
Sorry. Yeah. This is fine. Yeah,
What
this is
that
fine.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then obviously we want the SS alignment when we had a wee look on here earlier.
Yeah.
So SS alignment. Grip wise, how did that grip feel to you?
Fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty happy.
Straight away when you picked the first one up, it had that grip on it,
Yeah.
and you've gone, this is quite comfortable straight away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
it
it's
fits,
just
it fits the hand nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Right. Needs to come down to me seeing what's in stock.
Yep.
Golf shaft wise, there's kind of 3 options that we've got in at the minute.
Okay.
So you've obviously got the steel, which is the standard. You've got the Acra in the black and the white.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the Acra is the way we'll go. If you look on tour, majority of guys are going to be playing them with the TPT.
Yep.
There's heavy upcharge on the TPT.
Yep.
Obviously, the tour guys aren't paying for it.
Yeah.
But there is a few Acras circling around on tour as well.
Okay.
So you're not going to really see anyone playing it with a steel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Let me
Yeah.
go and work out, see what's what, see where everything is. I'll get the spec down. All right. Sweet. Let me go and have a chat with Georgie.
Amazing. Thank you so
I'll be
much.
back with you in a wee minute.
Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I got fitted into a DF3 putter and I got it in red, my favourite colour. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it delivered back home. They do same day building and then they'll send it to us because we're miles and miles away. So we are now at home. Yay, we teleported home. Right, as you know, I want to be as transparent around everything as possible. Now, would I spend £500 on a putter? Absolutely not. Not right now. Maybe in a few years' time, once I'm, a little bit more well off. Not now. All right. So I know a lot of you will be watching and say, I'll stick to my Odysseys or I'll stick to my Scotty. Look, it's all preference in the end of the day. If you have the money to do it and you want to do it, by all means, I thought it was a really great experience. As I mentioned in the video, I won the putter, so it's a little bit different, but I did pay to kind of change some of the things. So although I won the putter, I still paid to get the upgrades on bits and pieces. Now, here's our box. Took the labels off so you can't come stalk me. Let's get unboxing and I'll tell you all the specs. Haha! Here she is. Here she is. Boom. Yeah. So this came at the perfect time. You would have seen from, or you'll be seeing videos coming up. Tomorrow I am heading off to Spain with Alia. We've gone over with Golf Escapes to go and film a bunch of stuff. I was worried it wasn't going to arrive in time for our Spain trip, but it has. Shout out to Scottsdale for l.a.b for making that happen. In the packet, what happens is you get your specs on the side, which I'll talk about in a minute. You get your l.a.b putter care instructions as well. You're pretty smart for buying a l.a.b putter. Seriously, the thing basically stays square by itself. Why would any serious golfer play anything else? It tells you how to look after the club, essentially. So, let me tell you what I got, because I'm gonna have to read this out. Beautiful. So, of course, we got the DF3. All right, this is what I got to fit it into. It's what kind of worked best for me. I think it's quite a popular one for good reason. And I managed to get it all in my brand. And I managed to get it all in my brand colors as well. This is pretty much the identical red. I've got the white grip, black shaft. Now, the one thing to mention about this black shaft is it was put across, get yourself an upgraded shaft. However, if I wanted red and I wanted the shaft changed, you're looking at about 180 quid. That's 180 quid that I didn't quite have. Or at least I should be saving. So we have gone for just the black steel, and that's kind of what I was using on the day anyway. If there are issues, I might get it swapped out, but for now, this should be absolutely fine with me. I'm a little bit of a cheapskate. I don't like spending money, if you haven't realized. In terms of spec, red head color. The shaft, we've got the matte black premium steel. Again, the other shafts, typically they would look to recommend people into. And this worked for me during the fitting, so I just kept it. The length is 34.5 inches at a lie angle of 69. There we go, 69 degrees, that's what I got fitted into. The build weight is standard. I know Alia's is heavier. Mine is standard, and the grip is a press pistol 2 degree in white. The main other thing is the lines. Now, again, that's something I never realized made such a big difference. As I am left eye dominant, the 3 lines like this at the front is going to help me, especially with the lines not being so far at the back. But all in all, I am very, very happy. Of course, if you were to go get fitted, it's probably going to be a lot more expensive, but overall the experience was awesome. What I am interested in, there's going to be a lot of people that use l.a.b's online remote fitting. And I wanted to find out if it was just as accurate if you got fitted online versus getting fitted at the l.a.b Centre of Excellence. So we put it to the test. First up, you're going to need your putter. This is the one that I got fitted to in person. I've got a tape measure, my phone, and you need your golf shoes. I'm all on my own today, so I'm doing this all myself. What you're gonna need is your phone. This is where you're gonna record it and send it off to l.a.b online. And you wanna set your phone up 5 to 10 feet away with a square edge, like a door frame, which is why we're here and why I'm in a really awkward, weird spot. Because I'm on my own and I don't have another tripod, I'm gonna do this, set up my own little tripod. Use a bottle, it's the easiest way I've found to get it upright. We're just gonna get that lined up nice and in frame. So what you'll do is you'll line up with the door frame. So that's where the center of your putter will go, in the middle of that door frame, and you get yourself comfortable. I'm gonna actually tuck my shirt in so they can see the whole putter. And what you'll do is you'll just get set up as you normally would, nice and comfy, and just do some swings, some nice pattern swings. Now the video itself only has to be about 5 seconds. Just checking to make sure it's all in frame properly, which it is. You need your whole body in there. And then you need to use your tape measure. Now this is to measure from the center of the face, not the shaft, to the center of the face to the end of the grip. And you also need to measure yourself. Now I'm 6'4", as everyone can tell, but I'll measure just to make sure. Lay your putter down, just like you'd normally use it. And from the center of the face, you're just gonna measure to the top of the grip. Mine is 34 inches. Ah! And then the final thing is your height. Now again, this is why they say wear golf shoes. 5'9". Now I'm missing half a foot off this tape measure, so that I'm just going to count that too. But let's go fill in that data onto the l.a.b website, and then they'll come back with all the lie angle and shaft length and everything we need to order our putter. After filling the form out online, I was expecting a 2 to 4 business days wait until we heard a response. I literally got a response back within about half an hour. The specs I got fitted into and what you find out online compared to in person is very, very different. But typically, if you know what you're doing, you can take that data and apply it how you want to. Now, I'm quite clueless when it comes to technology and whatnot. It's all very, very new to me. So the specs that they gave online were a 71-degree lie angle and a 34-degree length. Now, in person, we did bump the length up to 34.5, and my specs that I was given was 69 degrees, which is their standard. Turns out I have a pretty standard kind of setup. Now, I'm not the person to be able to say that makes a massive impact. You in the comments will have a much better idea. So if you're interested, have a little scroll down. There are so many knowledgeable people in the comments I found from our last fitting video. I learned a lot from you guys as well. So your knowledge, your opinions, everything, please drop them in the comments, because it helps me, but it also helps other viewers who don't necessarily know the answers just like me. A difference of just 2 degrees. The difference is you get to really feel what you like. The big difference online is obviously you can't test these putters. Now, I believe I tried out a 71-degree lie angle and it just wasn't coming off quite right. And the big thing about in person as well is you learn how to use the putter. Now, if I just bought a l.a.b putter, I wouldn't actually know how to use it and I probably wouldn't get the best out of it. Whereas because I went in person and I started to understand and learn why things do different things when I putt it certain ways, and I learn my tendencies, and I have essentially a lesson in the background with it all, I know how to use this putter, and I'm confident that I know this putter is right for me. However, online, if I would have chosen a putter based on looks alone, I probably would have gone for the OZ. Now, from the testing with the OZ, I didn't quite get on with it as much as I thought I would. So going into this one in person with a very open mind, I didn't really mind what I came out with, but in terms of looks, if I had to pick one, it would have been the OZ. The DF3 I'm more than happy with. I'm more than happy with, because I know this is what is built for me. I know this is what performed the best on the day. With that also being said, I wouldn't have known and I wouldn't have picked this alignment aid if I didn't know about kind of the whole left eye dominant thing. Now again, with the alignment aid, I didn't know how much of an impact that actually had until we had the fitting in person. I would have probably chosen a pretty standard one line, maybe, I don't know what I would have chosen, but it probably wouldn't have been this. And I certainly wouldn't line the ball up with the inside line like I've been taught. I've been now using this putter for about 2 weeks. I've just got back from Spain, so I haven't actually been able to test it out in England properly. But when we went over to El Rompido with Golf Escapes, the greens were so pure, this was unbelievable. It really, I was blown away. We had some putting games, some putting challenges, as well as I played a little bit on the course. This was so much fun. And wow, I'm so much more confident with this than I expected to be. And it's made a bigger impact on my game than I expected it to as well. Just standing over a 3, 4, 5 foot putt, I'm not concerned about, I just know I can let the putter do the work. And as long as the read is right, which we've found in the video I'm not very good at, but as long as the read is right, I'm pretty confident it's gonna go in. My last putter, my childhood putter, that lasted me 15 years. Now, granted, I used it very much on and off, but a putter you're gonna be using every single hole, right? A driver, not necessarily. So if I were to choose a club to upgrade and choose a club that I know will last me a long time, it's going to be the putter. And that's the club that I if I were to get fit again and I had to choose one club to get fit to, it would be probably my putter. With that being said, there's a lot of things you can learn putting because your putting stroke's quite similar every time. So for example, Tiger Woods has a very off putting stroke, but it's so consistent. That's the difference. My putting stroke is not consistent, so this helps a lot. You can get away with not having a really good putter if you know how to use it. And I suppose that's the same with a lot of clubs, but in particular, a putter, there's a reason why I got on more with my childhood putter because I was used to it, I knew what it was like, over the likes of my mallet and my bladed Odysseys. So I suppose my final thoughts and my too long didn't read type thing. L.a.b putter, unbelievable. I absolutely love this thing so far, but I need to test it in the UK. Would I spend £500 on a putter? Probably not. But would I spend £500 on a driver? Probably not. Would I rather spend £500 on a putter that's going to last me 5, 6, 7, 8 years than a driver that might last me 2 or 3? I'd rather do the putter. You use it more as well. Was the fitting worth it, or should you go online? Again, it depends how knowledgeable you are. For me, I'm very new to golf, so this is like every little help and kind of like stripping it back to the start and teaching it to me like I am a baby has massively helped my game and my understanding of golf and the putting stroke. And when I did the driver fitting, it's helped massively with my driver swing. So for me personally, the fitting was amazing. Would I rush to go out and get a putter fitting? Not necessarily. As I say, I like my second-hand clubs. Is how I've grown up, always playing golf, is using second-hand clubs. But this, as my only ever new club, I'm very, very, very happy with it. It's probably the same thing I'm going to say every single time. It's completely preference in terms of whether it's worth it for you. I know a lot of people, and probably myself included, would prefer to spend £500 on golf lessons or putter lessons than a putter. That's going to have much better long-term results. However, this negates a lot of that and it still holds its value. If you decide a year down the line you want to sell it, you still get that money back. You don't get that money back from lessons, do you? Overall, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on putter fittings, club fittings in general, in the comments below. Like, it's really cool to see your different opinions. Last video, we had a lot of people who build their own clubs. I'd love to get to that point. I'd love to hear how you do it and kind of the process behind that. But overall, if this video helped you in any way whatsoever, please let me know. Like the video, it's massively appreciated. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. We're only around the corner, so please consider subscribing and look forward to next video. Break 80 at Isla Canela in Spain.